It is Tuesday, March 13th. My name is C. Mary Holtman. With me, I have Nick E. Anderson. We're going to talk about Crossroads, and this is the Wrestling Guild. So, how you doing today, Nick?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
It's almost summer, or it's supposed to be.
You couldn't tell.
No, exactly. It's supposed to be summer here.
No, it's not. It's supposed to be spring.
Well, spring, summer, same thing.
No, we had this conversation before. Spring and summer, not the same thing. Yeah. They start with the same letter, but they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about Crossroads today, which I understand confused you.
Well, a little bit. Like I thought, where is? I'm looking in the app. Where is it? Like the original, the normal stuff.
The Impact, yeah,
exactly.
But did you not pay attention to what
Exactly.
What happened the week before? It's like the leading up to Crossroads.
That's how I actually found it. Because I was like, well, I saw all the stuff on Facebook and Crossroads, and then when I clicked on it, it said 90 minutes, like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, this was their special. It's kind of like they did that once. TNA decided to trim down on their pay-per-views from monthly pay-per-views. They kind of did that. Those pay-per-views, a lot of them turned into specials instead. So they had like TV specials, which were really not much because it just made it feel like this was just an episode that was called something. It was called like Turning Point or Victory Road. And I think even one time they had it like over 2 episodes. They had like Victory Road was like 2 episodes long.
Okay.
But that wasn't. But here, actually, this time they made it feel like a special, which was nice. How did you like it overall?
I mean, to be honest, we had some good matches in this episode. I really don't think we had any bad matches at all, really.
No.
I think most of them were really good. It went really quick, the episode itself.
Yeah.
Like from start to finish.
Yeah, there was match after match after match, but there were also entertaining matches and they were good matches. I really liked this. I was going to say pay-per-view, but it's not a pay-per-view. Well, let's start it up. We started up with the opening vignette. Matthews and Sanjay Dutt stand in front of the screen. Nice to see. They keeping that up. And we jump right into the tag team championships. Cult of Lee versus LAX. How did you like this stuff?
Like I always say with the Cult of Lee and LAX, like Cult of Lee, they're like, Trevor and Caleb, they're good. Totally, I understand that. But when you're facing LAX, it's just not going to work. I mean,
you got to be more than good.
Kind of. I mean, sorry to say, but that's kind of the issue here because they can't really win. I mean, they can't really get a grip of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, this was a really good match. It was fun, a lot of back and forth. Both Caleb Conley and Trevor Lee brought their A game, but I've just got to say that I think Santana really is the standout here. I mean, he's awesome, and actually Alberto El Patron, he was talking about when they were interviewing him, asking him what the brightest star in the Impact roster. He said Santana. So we'll see. Hopefully they keep LAX together for a long time because they need a tag team. The question is, where do they go from here? Who's next? I mean, it kind of came out of left field, Cult of Lee. But, I mean, who's going to be the next challenger for the tag team champions? OVE are going to be tied up for a while.
We really don't have any tag teams.
No.
Because we just have Cult of Lee, OVE.
Well, we have the Desi Hit Squad, which they showed up on last Chancery, which was on Friday. But, I mean, I don't know. They're not established enough
Maybe
yet.
you want to get Mumbai Cats. Yeah.
Mumbai Cats, always the favorites. Anyway, LAX retained the championship by hitting the Street Sweeper. They win the 1, 2, 3. Really good match. And it just gets better after that. And there's an interview with with Bobby Lashley. Says he doesn't care that he has to go at it alone, that he's taking out the whole OVE.
Maybe two. I mean, he thinks he's kind of the king, which he kind of is.
Well, are you going to argue?
No, absolutely not.
No.
But yeah, he thinks he's a little bit better than he actually is.
Yeah. We'll see. Then we had the GWN moment of the week. I didn't think that they were going to do these, but I guess since it's on TV, they kind of have to. I don't understand if Impact and GWN are two different things. I mean, but are still connected. So like the GWN buys advertising space on it. Anyway, Christian Cage versus Monty Brown for the NWA Championship.
I really don't know what's up with these old school matches, but they're always better than the ones we have right now. I really don't know. I don't know if it's the referee. I don't know if it's the commentators. I don't know if it's the audience. I don't know if it's the wrestlers themselves. I don't know if it's the ring. But really, it's just more intense and it's more hard hitting.
But I mean, obviously, when in this one, you get to see it towards the end. So, I mean, they've already had like the feeling out process, so you don't get the entire match. But yeah, I can agree. Although I don't think that I don't know if I felt like Christian Cage versus Monty Brown was a better match than like Aries versus Impact.
Okay, sure, yeah.
But yeah, no, I know what you feel. And then, you know, you have the aggression of the commentators and everything. But it was fun to see Cage and Brown fighting again. Cage, of course, retains the NWA Championship by hitting the Unprettier, a move that Laurel Venice actually uses these days.
Oh yeah,
that's why you recognized it. Yes, your buddy El Patron showed up at the arena after that.
Yeah, but basically, yeah, we have Mr. Alberto coming in, really just talking.
Did he say anything?
He did, right?
Well, I think he just showed up.
Did he just show up?
Yeah.
Well,
maybe
it was the next. Okay. Well, then he just showed up, but that was pretty much it. We really didn't see him later in the episode.
We saw him at the end, basically.
Yeah, but like we didn't really see him in the match.
No. Anyway, we have title versus title match: Ishimori versus Matt Sidell. How'd you like this?
Ishimori, good. Matt Sidell, good. But in this match, I think Matt Sidell been improving himself. I don't know if he had a deal with Ishimori, but he was actually really good.
Well, I mean, they are both very good. But as I said with Sidell, I think that he's kind of like toned down his moves that he used to do. And I don't know if it's because he was in the WWE and that he wasn't allowed to do certain moves. So he's kind of gotten used to that. I mean, he was in the WWE for 7 years.
7 years.
But anyway, but yeah, Ishimori. I think a lot of people were very impressed with Ishimori at this last show, and he pulled out some new innovative offense. He did really well. Unfortunately, he ended up on the losing end of things. Matt Sidell wins with the shooting star press, but it was a good match, and I think they should be both. Perhaps the question is where Matt Sidell goes after this. He can't really have two championships. That's like been the thing the whole time. You can't have like two championships in the same company. So you can have it for a little bit. Bobby Lashley had he had the World Championship and the X Division Championship, but you have to forfeit one of them.
So you can,
So we'll see if they're going to do that rule. For one time, Kurt Angle had all the championships.
Oh,
yes,
all of them.
He had the X Division Championship, he had the World Championship, and he had the Tag Team Championships. And then he had to defend them all in one pay-per-view. That was really fun. And he lost the X Division Championship to Jay Lethal, and then I can't remember who he lost the tag team belts, because he was a tag team champion with Sting. And then they got into a fight, and anyway, and Kurt Angle beat up Sting, and then Sting got pinned, and then he kept the World Championship. So that was kind of fun.
All of it.
He had all of them.
Wow, impressive.
But that's Kurt Angle.
That's Kurt Angle.
That's Kurt Angle. Anyway, news came out that Ishimori has left Noah, Pro Wrestling Noah. So, but what that means, we don't know.
Well, kind of know.
No, but it doesn't mean that he goes to Impact full time.
Might come.
He might. Well, he might. But I think what he was saying was that he wants to do like other Japanese stars and kind of broaden his horizon. So it could be that maybe he'll be in Impact, but maybe he'll just be focusing on doing other indie dates and stuff like that. Maybe showing up in other various promotions. Because Austin Aries showed up at ROH, challenging Kenny King for the television championship, because it's the only belt that he hasn't had. So the thing is that Aries doesn't have an exclusive contract with Impact. So he
can just go and
he's a free agent. He has the championship, and he had told them that he was going to ROH to show up beforehand. So that's all good, and they were happy with that.
Okay.
So maybe we'll see a working relationship between Ring of Honor and Impact. Who knows?
I mean, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
that would be quite cool.
That would be quite cool. Then we had Ali versus Laurel Venice in a Knockouts Championship match. How did you like this?
I mean, Venice, she is good.
Yep.
Totally. I understand. And in this match, she was good. Ali, she's also good. But Ali has been improving herself once again, and she impresses me.
Yeah. To be completely honest, I think this was probably the match that didn't hold my interest the most, because I felt like, well, it's time for Ali to win. Plus, we know that Laurel Venice is leaving, so I don't know if this is the last time we see Laurel, or if they're going to be having more of her. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, it's not much to say. Ali wins a good match. I mean, they did well. It wasn't like it was a bad match. It was a good match. It was just probably the one that held my interest the least. After that, we had an interview with Austin Aries. He says he's been collecting championships all around the world, although 2 of them are from England, so technically not all around the world.
He's good at talking as well.
Oh, he's a great talker. I mean, the thing is that Austin Aries, for all that he says he's the greatest man that ever lived. But I mean, he is kind of like Eli Drake. It's like an all-round good entertainer, wrestler. And the only thing that I think there's a difference between Aries and Drake is that Aries is leaner than Drake. Drake is quite big. So his moves, just like with EC3, all the moves that he does, I mean, aren't as fluid.
That's true.
I mean, look at Austin Aries, like in the main event, how he moves. It's like some things that he does just almost seems like he's doing them in slow motion.
Yeah, he has to become faster. He doesn't have the speed part.
Drake, no.
Well, Drake and Austin.
No, Austin has the speed. Don't you think he has the speed?
I mean, okay, well, if you compare it to like Impact.
No, well, that's the difference. They're different wrestlers. But yeah. Anyway, Austin Aries says that it's not going to be easy for Impact to take the championship because he doesn't think that Impact can play dirty enough.
Yeah.
Then we had a little OVE vignette, and then we had OVE versus Bobby Lashley. How did you like this?
I mean, it's a bit unfair. I mean, to be fully honest. I mean, come on. I mean,
is it unfair to Lashley or unfair to OVE that didn't get to be 3 people?
I mean, Bobby, he's good in that, but when you have 2 people at the same time, it is hard. So I totally understand him, and it's a bit unfair, but the match itself was good. And Bobby had like a little backup.
Bobby Lashley showed his power, really. Especially when he powerbombed and slammed the OVE together. Of course, Sami Zayn gets involved with the bat a little bit. Still really enjoyed the fact that, I mean, he has been getting a lot of shit for what happened against Eddie Edwards. Online and stuff like that, but I just feel like it's nice that he just doesn't care. He just plays the character, and that Impact is like supporting him. Impact Wrestling is supporting him by it. Also, did you see that he put out a new T-shirt? It's a picture of Eddie Edwards' face with the patch over the eye.
Oh,
that's vicious.
The guy is funny. I mean, come on, give him. Yeah, I mean, you see, this is quality.
Anyway, what happens is that
it was
Brian Cage comes down
and
tags himself. And the thing is that what I found was really weird was that it wasn't like I ever felt that Bobby Lashley was in trouble. It wasn't like he tagged himself in when Bobby Lashley was getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, it was.
He was
That's true. That is true. They were on that side when Bobby was here, so
nothing really happened. So Cage comes in, takes out both of the guy, takes people out, hits the drill claw on one of the Chris brothers, and gets the pin. Lashley obviously not happy.
Yeah, he wasn't.
But then he stretched out his hand to Cage.
I mean, does this mean that Cage and Bobby are going to work together?
No, I think this means that because Cage didn't take his hand, I think that this is going to be like the leading towards the end of Bobby Lashley's run in Impact.
And then he's going to...
Because I think he's going to feud with Cage. They're going to have issues because he doesn't want Cage he didn't need his help. He said that he could do it alone, and Cage came in, he ruined it. And I think this is going to lead to the fact that Bobby Lashley and Cage are going to feud, which probably ends up with Bobby Lashley losing and having to leave. Which is nice, though, in a way, because it'll put Cage over. It'll show Cage as a monster.
Sure. Yeah, that's true.
Because we were talking about who is Cage going to feud with. But that was fun. It was a fun little match. It was, not a technical spectacle, but definitely brings the storyline into motion. And then we had an interview with Johnny Impact. He talks about Aries. He was a little different in this interview, I thought.
Yeah, it was. He was a little. Could you say weird?
It was a little strange because I wasn't sure what was going on. I thought that this was. I don't know if he was trying to be serious. Johnny Impact, not the best actor.
I don't know if he was serious. Yeah, it was what it was. He basically talks about what's going to happen and how he's going to destroy Austin and whatnot. Yeah. The normal stuff. Really, yeah.
Yeah, and then we had a little announcement. Feast or Fired returns this week. This week, Feast or Fired. Do you know what Feast or Fired is? Feast or Fired is they've done it almost every year. Feast is you get celebrated. Fired, you get fired. So what they do is they put up 4 different briefcases in the 4 corners, and then they have a bunch of people in the ring. And then you're supposed to grab a briefcase. If you manage to grab a briefcase and get out of the ring, get your feet on the ground, then it's yours. Okay. And then when all the briefcases are taken, you get to. I think they'll do it the week after. Everybody gets to open their briefcase. All the 4 guys that got the briefcase, and 3 of the briefcases have a championship match in them. So one of them is for the X Division Championship, one of them is for the World Heavyweight Championship, and one is usually for the Tag Team Championship. But that could be the Grand Championship. Who knows? Depends on what they do, because they don't usually have that many championships. The Grand Championship has been the Television Championship at one point. It has also been the King of the Mountain Championship. It's been the what was it? It was like some kind of international championship or something like that. It's been, and then there's been the beer drinking championship, but that was James Storm's championship that he made himself, and it had a spinning a beer bottle on it, and it was only you had to see who could drink the most beers. So it was only ever held by James Storm and Eric Young.
Typical Storm. It's typical.
And it was actually an old WWE toy belt that he had decorated himself.
It's one of those ideas that only Storm could do. Yes. Really,
And the 4th briefcase is a pink slip, which means that you get fired. So traditionally, it was the way they got rid of wrestlers whose contracts were up. That was a way to put it into the storyline. So, Grado got fired once, but then he came back.
Wrong guy, guys.
Yeah, but he came back for I can't remember whatever reason. Who else got fired? I'm thinking Brooke got fired. Brooke Tessmacher, who was together with Robbie E. She got fired. He had the briefcase, and then he won it or something. I can't remember how it was, but people have been fired from it, and sometimes it's been in storyline. So, like when Christopher Daniels was fired, he got it. He was fired in the first Feast or Fire match. He left he didn't actually leave the company, but he just came back in a mask.
Oh yeah.
But storyline, he was fired. And then he was Curryman for a while.
Curryman.
Curryman. You look
Out
it
of
up on
all
the
the names
GW.
in this world.
It was a
Curryman.
Japanese angle that he had. He had a plate of curry and rice on his head and a mask. It was funny.
Curryman.
Curryman. Going deep back into the vault here. And then I know that like Guerrero was fired too. So that's been a couple times. So I'm thinking that this actually might be how they write EC3 out of that he'll get the case and that he'll get fired.
But I mean, it's a kind of a lame way to go. But at the same time, what are they going to say? They're just going to say, "Well, he's leaving the company." So I guess this is
a better way to do it, and now it feels better because EC3 is already gone. And I remember in Feast or Fired's past, most people haven't known who was going to get fired.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's been kind of like for the audience, it's been kind of like who is actually going to get fired.
Mm-hmm.
But now we know Bobby Lashley is not around, Laurel Venice is not going to be around,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
EC3 is not going to be around, so it's going to be one of those guys, probably. But if they do, they might do a swerve, and they have a storyline where somebody else gets fired.
Oh, yeah,
who doesn't leave the company, like Braxton Sutter might get fired. Who knows?
But then they could come back. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like as Curryman.
That's Curryman. Yeah. As meatball man.
Cumin man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we went to the main event: Johnny Impact versus Austin Aries. Yeah, what do you say?
Awesome match. I mean, it was a great time. They had a lot of time to show what's up, what they want to show, the moves and whatnot. You got the high-flying moves from Impact.
And you had high-flying moves from Aries as well. So.
And these guys are really like professional wrestlers. They really know what to do, and they work really good together.
Yeah, and it was great stuff. Austin Aries wins with the brainbuster in the end. I think this was, and I thought it was nice. I was afraid that Patron was going to come out and ruin it.
Oh,
because he was there.
Mm-hmm.
But he just comes out at the end and looks really weird. He was really happy, high or something. But he looked up because his hair was all messy. It looked like he'd had, and then he started unbuttoning his shirt. I was just like, dude.
Because I thought first when he was unbuttoning that he would like fight someone or if he was going to go for someone, but that was pretty much it of him. I don't know. He might have been high.
Who knows? But anyway, it was Austin Aries shakes Johnny Impact's hand in the end. It was just solid. It was a really solid match. They were really good. They both played it off very well in the ring. This was basically a 4.5 star match.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that unfortunately Crossroads has had a lower rating than the episode before. And I would have really hoped that the audience that stayed that more would have stayed for Crossroads, because if they could have seen Crossroads, they would have seen how good the show is, and maybe take it to the next level. But we'll see. Maybe people talk about Crossroads and they bring it up to the next level. More people will watch next week.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was the last episode or the episode before that. It had a really high.
That was the last episode, the episode before Crossroads.
Like in the entire year, it was the highest. Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. So, really good. I'm going to put this as an A show. This was an A show for me. Crossroads was an A show.
You're gonna put an A?
Yeah.
Wow! Never heard this before. Okay, I'll give it really
an E.
No, but okay. Well, A-.
Okay. What did you need to get it over the edge?
The females, you had Vanessa and Ali. It wasn't really that good, and Ishimori lost. So
you can't do that. So there's a lot of things happening now. So this Friday was Last Chancery. Their special was sold out event. They're showing it on Twitch right now. I've actually started watching it. I was thinking that you could start watching. Maybe we could talk about it on Friday if you have time to watch Last Chancery. It's only a 2-hour thing. You'll get to see the Desi Hit Squad.
Really?
Yep, they're there. That's their
Desi Hit Squad.
Yeah, they're that Indian faction.
Desi.
Yeah, well, you'll find out. Braxton Sutter is in it too.
What's your guy's name? Desi Hit Squad.
Yeah, but it's Indian. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And then, they announced the first matchup between Lucha Underground and Impact Wrestling,
Oh, yeah, that was
which will be, what was it, Desmond Xavier? Phoenix and Pentagon's, or Penta El Om, or whatever his name is these days. But it was going to be, from Lucha Underground, it was going to be King Cuerno, Aerostar, and Drago versus Desmond Xavier, DJZ, and Andrew Everett. Now that is going to be a match to watch.
Oh, shit. Oh, damn. When is this? Friday?
It's April. No, that's April 4th or something like that.
April 4th. Wow, what a mashup! Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that Pentagon guy is really huge. Like, he's big.
Yeah, you should. Have you been checking it out?
I checked. Yeah, I checked both out. I mean,
they're brothers, actually.
Are they?
Yeah.
Because the Phoenix guy looks more like at the Sidell way, more high flying guy.
Yeah.
And then you got Pentagon, which is more towards maybe Bobby Moose guy.
Yeah,
he's
probably
a little smaller.
He's shorter, but he's like stronger, bigger. Yeah. Cool. We'll probably talk Friday about Last Chancery. You can find us on all social medias. Anywhere you go, you can swing a dead cat by its tail and you'll hit us somewhere. Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram, Stitcher, YouTube.
Boom.
YouTube. That's it for Nick E. Anderson. My name is C. Mary Holtman, and we will catch you on Friday.
Curryman.